Hello, Nigel here with you, Nigel's Modelling Bench, and here we are back again with the Hachette Lancaster Bomber B.III, the Dambuster, and we're on part 35 now, or issue 35 of this lovely model. And here you can see we've got the engine that we built up in part 34, and with the shaft going through the centre. It must be noted, a couple of people have contacted me and have said about this shaft. Apparently the motor is very, very weak, and any resistance at all in this shaft turning causes the prop not to spin. I wouldn't be too concerned about it at the moment, because at the moment we've got our little test rig with just the 2 batteries. I think the motor is probably going to get double that power, so I think it's probably going to be all right. We shall see. There's a very slight amount of friction in there. Quite why they didn't put the motor inside the engine, I don't know. And somebody's going to say the engine's not big enough. And they're exactly right. The engine's not big enough. If they made the engine big enough, the motor might have fitted. But anyway, this is given to me by Hachette. This is a sponsored build, so I'm not going to be particularly mean to them. But yeah, I don't know. So here we have the as far as we got with the engine. This is engine number 2 in part 34. So now we've got part 35. So as usual, what we'll do, we'll cut the top off the bag as per usual. We'll have a look at the magazine. Now below this video in the description there is a link, and that link will take you to a YouTube page where you can actually see the finished development model, how it all looks on its stand and everything, and then on there you'll get details of how to go and get yourself one should you want to, if you're not too late. So here we are then, pack number 35, and opening the magazine as usual. We have all the bumps down here, we have a picture of the development model, and then we have basically what's coming in this model. So we've got the engine bearers, the radiator, the, what do they call that? The tank, okay, plenum chamber, whatever you want to call it. And that's the oil tank support. So obviously they're copying the Hong Kong models one. We're putting this oil tank in the back of the, it basically goes in behind the engine bearers, but you're not really going to be able to see it once it's all covered in, so but it's in there. So there's our assembly instructions as per normal. And then here we've got Lancaster KB882. The Mark 10 built in Canada is one of only 17 known complete Lancaster airframes surviving in the world today. That's a sad state of affairs, isn't it? I wish there were hundreds more. Looks like she's had a bit of a battering around that engine intake there. So that's the there she is today. Restorers have made it their mission to return KB882 as close as possible to the condition it was in when it was retired from the Royal Canadian Air Force in 1964. I don't know about you guys, but I'm having a bit of a deja vu. Haven't we already covered this in one of these magazines? I'm sure we have. But, I could be mistaken. And then here we have Battle of Midway. I was on John's live stream last night until my computer went funny. And yeah, one of the questions asked in there, what was your favourite film of all time? And one of my favourite films of all time is the original Battle of Midway. A view of the Japanese carrier Akagi from a US aircraft. Akagi was sunk during the Battle of Midway, as were the others. So I've got Douglas Dauntless there, brilliant aircraft. So yeah, fantastic. Well, it's devastating the amount of life lost, but as a story of war, it's an absolutely incredible story. How fast the Japanese were annihilated in, and it was just, there's so much luck and bad timing and bad decisions. But, yeah, it's incredible. It's an incredible story. If you haven't seen it, go and have a look. The new version of the film, I've actually got the CD over here. Whoops, DVD should I say. Here it is. I bought it and I still haven't watched it yet. This is the remake. This was redone in, when was this? When was this redone? Oh, I don't know. It was about 2012 or something like that. 2020. 2019, 2020. That one there, that's a brilliant film. It's actually quite accurate, apparently. So, we shall see. I've seen it once already. I bought the DVD. I shall sit down and watch it. So there we go. So that's, and there you can see what's coming in issue 36. We've got the frame going behind. We've got the motor, so the motor's going to sit in there. We've got that there, that's going to hold the motor by the look of it. We've got a firewall there. So there we are. So as we always do, we'll put the light on because we're building. Get the bag on the floor out of the way. and then we will cut this box open and see what we've got. So we have bags of parts. Put the box on the floor for recycling. So we have bags of parts, and we'll get all these out. God blimey, it's a tight one. Bags, they're really handy, these bags, for putting your parts in while you're building. At the moment I'm currently building the Harkonnen Ornithopter. They're metal with bearers, and I had the pilots in one of those bags, if you remember. Oh no, you haven't seen that one yet. As you watch this, you haven't seen it. There's a tiny little piece there. I wonder if that's broken off. Nope, it's not broken off. That's supposed to be there. So we have all our parts, and what we like to do is lay them out as per the magazine. So we can have those like that. That's going to go across there. That's going over there. We've got the tank at the bottom, motor bearer there, and that like that and like that. Right, so we've got everything. So we can see that it's all there. Right, so let's crack on with the build. So take the engine assembly from the previous issue, take the port side bearer and check how it fits on the side of the engine. Two rectangular pegs on the bearer fit into the corresponding sockets. So we've got this engine bearer here. So there's two rectangular sockets in there. Not that you can see them because it's all black, and there's two rectangular pegs on there. So that's going to go into there like that. Okay, and they're going to have to be glued in place. Okay, and then turn the engine over and fit the connector, this little rubber connector, onto the peg like that. Okay, and then we're going to plonk the other side on. Whoops, trying to throw it on the floor. I'm going to plonk the other side on, so that pin in the bottom there is going to go into that rubber connector I've just put on, and then we've got that there. Pin's going to go into that rubber, and then we've got the two rectangular blocks going in there like that. There we go. Okay, just like that. How's that? There we are. So that's that. So I need to glue those in place, and then we can go from there. We'll get them glued and I'll be back. Right, so that's those glued in. I'm not going to pull them about too much because the super glue won't be dry yet. I've used the VMS black thin. So next step is to take the radiator halves and glue them together if necessary. So what we'll do, we'll check first of all if they actually need to be glued, and I think they probably do, yes. So what we'll do is we'll put glue in the holes rather than on the pin. Okay, put some glue on one side of the hole, and that way the air can escape. If you put it on both sides, you can get a hydraulic and you can't push the parts together, they keep springing apart. So that allows the air to come out, but the capillary reaction and pull the glue around the pin. There we go. So now we have to glue this radiator to the bottom of the engine, which is that little slot there, and that's a nice snug fit, so that's cool. So we'll put some glue into that little slot there, and we will push that in there and close the engine up just like so. Close the engine up, close the radiator up, and then take the radiator shutter control 35E and check the fit on the bearers. Tabs on the bearers fit into slots on the other side of the part 35E. Note the position of the tab on part 35E circled above. I can't see a circle above. Glue part 35E in place. I don't remember now how this goes. So that's going to go like that, is it? I really don't remember how that. Okay, that's going to sit on top of. Right. There's two little tabs on there. There's one there, and we've got two little holes in here. One there, one there. So I'm going to put some super glue in the hole. And get some into that hole. There we go, and then into there and into there. Just like so. Just had to squeeze those bearers together a bit. So that's going to sit like that. Okay, sat on an angle, as you can see there. There is no circle here marking how it goes. Okay, going over the page, take the two parts of the header tank, check how they fit together, apply a little glue to hold them together if necessary. So we've got the two parts of the header tank here, and we are going to see if these go together, how they go together. And they certainly don't need glue in, they've clipped together lovely. So now this is going to go on that pipe that we didn't fit. Oh no, we did, there it is. I can just about see it, so you probably can't see it at all. And we've now got to glue this in place, and I remember this was a nightmare. Okay, having them fit those two parts, these two little parts here that you can probably hardly see, there and there, they pre-fitted those for us, which was good of them, because on the first one they just kept breaking off. Now who's to say that when I push these on now they're not going to break off, but we shall see. So we'll just put some glue in there and push that onto there, squeeze these heads together. Yep, it broke off, but I'm not going to worry about it. Oh dear, this is so fiddly. I think they've made a big mistake with these engines, especially considering the fact they can't even be seen on the finished model. I know for a fact they've put people off buying. Some people have cancelled their subscription because of this, which is such a shame, because I know the rest of the model is going to be lovely. So that's got to push onto there like that, and that's going to stay up there, I hope. I'm going to put some more glue on there just to make sure. As I say, it all gets covered up at the end of the day, so I'm not too bothered about it. What we can do, just to remove the excess. Excuse the mark on my hand, guys, I burnt my hand on the oven, I'm sorry. I can put a plaster on it, but it comes off within about 5 minutes, so it's pointless. Some glue on there, let that soak in. Remove the excess. There we go. Using my tweezers just to push all this together. Be nice if it stayed together. And then this thing here is broken off, so we shall glue this back on. This is the problem with this super glue, it doesn't dry instantly like some. So, but it does make a much stronger joint because it doesn't dry instantly. It's not all brittle like a lot of super glues are. So I need to pick this up as I need to fit it to the model, and then we'll slot that in there. And we'll slot that one in there, there we go. Hopefully that will stay there. There we go, so we can put that to one side now and let that all dry. Got to lay it on its side. Make sure the angle on that is correct. Right. And then we're going to fit together the two parts of the oil tank. We've got a large pin, a small pin. Nice snug fit, so they don't need gluing either. I'm not going to worry about sanding this down and dealing with the seam because it's going to be all hidden. You're not going to see it. And then this is the bearer for the oil tank. Now we have to make sure that we've got this higher section here of the engine of the tank bearer, and the hole is facing us. Now that's not going to stay there, so what we will do here is once again we will get a drop of super glue into these holes. just like so. And then with a cotton bud, just wipe away the excess. Have that so it's like that, and have it so the hole is facing us. So when the large bit is to the left, the hole must be facing us. So stick that on there like that. And then next, take the oil feed pipe 35J and check out it fits in 35K. So we'll have a D-shaped pin on here. We've got a D-shaped hole. And that is going to go in like so, and it's a very, very snug fit, so that's good. That can stay there on its own. Apply a little glue to the peg to hold it in place. I think not. The inset above right shows part 35J in position. It is important to ensure the peg is pushed home fully so the body lies against 35K. So there we go, so that's in there. Use a fine file to file down the peg if necessary. That doesn't need gluing, that's absolutely fine. So there we go, guys, that is pack 35 all done. And you can see there's the finished work. Okay, so thank you for watching. I will see you all soon for pack 36.